Hey, what's up, y'all? So in front of me, I have 60 pounds of rice. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna take 1 grain of rice. I'm gonna put a red dot on it so I know which one it is. Because what I'm about to do is amazing. I'm gonna put this grain of rice back in with the other rice. I'm gonna mix it up. And I'm gonna pull this piece of rice out again 100 times consecutively. And I'm gonna do it without looking. You ready for this? All right. Here we go. I obviously didn't pull out the piece of rice that I was looking for. And I'm being a bit facetious with the rice. My point is this. The very structure of our universe is determined by the fundamental constants and quantities that we have. The question is, why do we have these constants and where do they come from? Because if you alter any of these numbers, even by a razor's edge, there would be no life. There would be no stars, no planets, and in some cases, no universe at all. And for me, this is simple. There's only 2 explanations. Either something created everything or nothing created everything. So if I am to postulate what I am living for in this life, I base it on what the most reasonable explanation of reality is for me. And every building that I have ever seen has a builder. And I'm not trying to equate a building to the universe. I know that's not a fair comparison. I'm just thinking about this from a position of simply sufficient reasoning. And that for every fact, there is a reason why it's a fact. And I talk to a lot of non-believers who are confident when they tell me there is no God. And I ask them, well, what are you living for? What do you believe in? And if belief is the wrong word because it's too subjective, I ask, what is your proclivity towards? And what is the evidence that what you are living for is more credible and reliable than the evidence for God? And if I can get an answer, the most common answer has to do with naturalism. Natural selection. Nature causes everything. And I ask people that believe this within our universe, which of the natural laws, from gravity, nuclear forces, electromagnetism, can create a message? For example, a message like the one that each and every one of us have in our DNA. The answer is none of them. And I'm convinced when I say that I think people know that God exists. I think they know that there is more to life than natural causes. And I think people should stop playing with God and figure out what is the root of your non-belief. A lot of people say it's a lack of evidence, but what sort of evidence would be sufficient for you? Because a lot of people are trying to justify God or demonstrate God in a world of science, and you will never find God under a microscope. And if you truly believe that there is no God, then why would you continue to seek truth of our existence? Why would it matter at all? And if you did happen to find truth, how can you trust the reasoning of the truth you find if we are just natural complex chemicals here by accident? I'm not trying to outthink you logically. I don't care about the fallacies. I don't care about how smart you are or how much you know about quantum physics. I'm trying to meet you here to get you here, because the intelligibility of your argument of whether God exists is not as important as a relationship with Him. I'm trying to get you to understand that this is serious. This is a serious matter that people shouldn't just brush off, because if these things are true about God's existence, we are talking about your eternal soul and not just the finite amount of time that you spend here on earth. So just like I couldn't pull out the piece of rice 100 times consecutively at the beginning of this video, that's how scientifically impossible I think it is for nothing to have created everything. So if you're not living for God, then you have to ask yourself the question, what are you living for? And what is the evidence that what you are living for is more credible and reliable than the evidence for God? Anyway, I hope this helps somebody. Peace.